to another episode of our Secure Dental podcast. Today we have yet another very, very special guest here. And before we get started, I'm just going to start with a little bit about the sponsorship of the pod. The pod has been sponsored by Dentvia. It's a virtual dental assistant company, and basically they help your back team staff members with virtual administration. Visit them at www.dentvia.com. Again, that's www.dentvia.com. Let's dive right in. So I got here Dr. Bobby here, and she is such an amazing person. She does great things. She has two practices in Brooklyn and Philadelphia. And what I'm really inspired about by her is the work she does in the community. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic on to you and let you do the intro and tell us exactly what's going on and how you got started.
Yes, thank you so much for that introduction. I'm really happy to be here on the Secure Dental Studio podcast. I admire your work and thank you for what you do as well. But my name is Dr. Bobby Peterson. As you said, I have two practices, one in Brooklyn, one here in Philadelphia. I've been practicing since 2008. I may not look it. I know I was born in 92, but
wow.
I've been a dentist since I was 4. No, I'm kidding. But no, I've been practicing dentistry and orthodontics for a long time. I definitely pride myself in giving back to the community. Like you said, both of my practices are located in major cities, and we accept all insurances, and we cater to those that may not necessarily be able to afford proper dental healthcare. We also donate dental supplies to different high schools and middle schools.
Wow.
In both cities. I opened up a practice in Philadelphia because I have family here, and I also went to Drexel University. So I'm very familiar with this city. Most recently, I became an inventor, and I know you want to touch base on that a little bit. I
want to hear all about it.
Yes, I designed an electronic now sonic toothbrush. Now, forgive me.
Wait. You said yes. Electronic now sonic toothbrush?
Yes. So
Love
what
it.
that means is, yes. So a few years ago, I got with a few engineers, and I wanted to design an electronic toothbrush with a wider head. Now, the reason I wanted to do that is because within my practice of dentistry and orthodontics, because I have some dental dentists that work for me, we noticed that there was a higher prevalence of gingivitis and periodontal disease, right? So I'm like, and I personally did not like how the latest advances and all of the electronic toothbrushes from these big companies were getting smaller and smaller. The brush heads were getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I'm like, how is this helping the gingivitis and oral health care problems? So I said, I personally would want a wider toothbrush head. So I got with a couple of engineers. We did our design. 4 prototypes later, came up with a big mouth toothbrush. I said, this works well in every corner of the average size mouth. And we put it on the market.
Wow.
Yes. After being on the market for about 6 months, I applied for Shark Tank.
So before, when it was in the market for 6 months, what was the name? Big Mouth Toothbrush? That's it?
The Big Mouth Toothbrush. It's always been the name. Yep. That's always been the name.
And where did you have them?
So initially it was only direct to consumer. Then gradually we got onto Amazon, and that was pretty much it at that point. At that point, it was direct to consumer and Amazon. That was, and then I sell them at my practice too. At that point in time, I only had the practice in Brooklyn, so we sold them at the office, and then we sold them direct to consumer.
And what year was that?
That was 2022.
2022.
Yeah, very recent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So keep going.
Yeah, we launched in January of 2022. In June or July, I applied for Shark Tank because it really is one of my favorite shows. And I really feel like that platform gives opportunities to entrepreneurs at every level. Like you can go on Shark Tank with an idea. You can go on there with, a prototype that you just want to sell for licensing. You can go on there if you have a failed business. You can go on there if you have a successful business.
Wow.
They help entrepreneurs on every level. I personally wanted to have some numbers behind my brand to bring to them to show proof of the concept. So that's why I waited about 6 months before I applied. So I applied 6 months in. They responded to me, I believe, by like August. And then in September, I went to go pitch. Now, the problem with that
Wow.
was, and what a lot of people don't know, is that you can go through all the stages to get onto Shark Tank, right? But you don't, and you can pitch in front of the sharks, but it
Okay.
does not necessarily mean that your episode is going to air. Now, your episode
Oh,
airing, right? Your episode airing is key to your brand going through the roof in terms of sales. Like, if no one sees the episode, it's like, how do they even know you exist, right?
oh,
So I pitched in September, and some of the people that were there with me when I pitched, like some of the brands, their episode aired like the following month. So I'm seeing all these people that were there with me and their episodes are airing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is my episode not going to air? It didn't air until the following March. Okay. So my episode didn't air till March of 2023. It just aired last year for the first time.
wow.
Yeah, I
Wow.
was on pins and needles. I'm like, oh my gosh, because the network, they can't confirm that to you. Like they won't, because they don't really know. Because it's television. It's like reality TV. They can't really tell you until maybe like a month before. So
Amazing.
you just have to be ready. But once we
How,
aired, I
how,
sold out in 24 hours.
how did you come about this idea that you want to go to Shark Tank?
So it's always been one of my favorite shows.
Sure.
Right. So Big Mouth is not my first business. Okay. It's not my first product.
Okay.
Right. It's not my first product. So I have initially, so the reason why they call me the celebrity orthodontist is because when I first finished my residency and I started practicing, there were I was in a lot of celebrity circles, right? I actually did a
Sure.
lot of
Sure.
celebrities. And I wanted to be able to offer them something different. So I came up with my own line of tooth jewelry called Oral Fixation. And I got with a jeweler and I made custom tooth jewelry pieces for a bunch of celebrities. Namely, one was the production company for a hip hop artist. His name is Fetty Wap. So back then he was really,
Wow.
really popular, right? So he was really, really popular, and that's kind of like where I got my platform from. That's where my platform came from,
Gotcha.
and that's how my name started to kind of ring bells, in
Uh-huh.
those circles. So that was the first thing. So I'm not naive when it comes to selling something. You know what I mean? Like putting something on the market.
I love your background.
Right. Go me. But yeah, so that's just to give you a little bit of background on me finding my passion and being so passionate about the things that I kind of bring to the world. You know what I mean?
You got this like inner spirit, like, it just pops out.
I can't help it.
Right, right. So this whole process with this Shark Tank, I mean, how tedious or how cumbersome or how challenging was it for you?
So, I would say I don't think it was like a cumbersome type of experience because once they accept you, well, once they tell you they want you to move forward, right? They don't really tell you exactly what's going to
Okay.
happen step by step. They keep you kind of in the dark when it comes to certain things. But I was super determined, and I really, really, really believed in my product. And I think they feel that as they bring you through the different levels. So basically, you're going through different levels and different stages of pitching, right?
Wow. Okay.
Because they want to make sure that you have everything together, your numbers, before they bring you in front of the sharks. Because I mean, if you go in front of them and you don't have your
Numbers.
numbers and you don't have everything that you could possibly sell about your brand in your brain, you're not going to be able to take those questions. You're not going to be able to respond under pressure. So the producers kind of work with you to make sure that you're prepared to go to the next level. And if they don't feel that you're prepared, then
You're
you don't
not
go to the
going.
next level. Exactly. So, after going through the different levels, I guess they kind of felt that I was ready. I was super, super nervous. I don't know if I've ever been that nervous
Uh-huh.
because once you're flown out there, I guess you kind of know that you're going to pitch, but you don't know when. So, you could be in there all day kind of waiting. That's how television
Right.
is. You could be in there all day waiting like me. But then when you go out there, you literally have maybe 5 minutes. It's a
That's it.
it's a really intense make or break moment. And it's like, it's, I don't know.
Tell me, tell me what was the opening pitch?
Oh my gosh, you have to watch it. It was basically the way I had it set up. My one stage, I had like a picture of my daughter, a picture of my mother, a picture of a couple different family members with the toothbrush. The display had the toothbrush there with the packaging. Now, the toothbrush that I initially pitched on Shark Tank was the electronic version because we hadn't come up with the Sonic version yet, right?
Right.
So that's what was up there. And I came out there in all black, right? And I didn't introduce myself as a doctor. I just said, my name is Bobby Peterson and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. And I started talking about how important it is to maintain
Wow.
your overall, how the relationship between your oral health and your overall health is connected. So you've got to keep your teeth clean. And then what I did was I said, why do you guys think I care so much about this? Like, why do you think I care so much? And they're like, why? I said, dun, 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 and I put on my white coat. And I said, because I'm an orthodontist. My name is Dr. Bobby Peterson, and I'm an orthodontist, and my product is the Big Mouth Toothbrush. So then it made more sense to them. Like, why is this person coming out here talking about an oral health care? Why is she using all these crazy big dental words, And I made the comparison with a photo of Mr. Wonderful. So basically, I'm like, if you don't take care of your teeth, you could look like this guy. So I had a picture of Mr. Wonderful with missing teeth. They got a real kick out of that.
Love it.
But it really came down to the wire, right? Because almost all of the sharks were out. Like they had all gone out. All of them loved the product. Like they were like, we really think that
Which is pretty typical, with these guys.
Yeah, they pretty much all were out except Mr. Wonderful. But they were like, I think their main thing was that the oral healthcare is such a competitive market.
Right.
They didn't want to, I guess they weren't up for the challenge. That's what it sounded like to me. But they were like, but good luck. You've been doing a great job so far. So Mr. Wonderful came at me with an offer. Kevin came at me with an offer. And I was like, man, because he loves royalties. So I'm like, man,
Exactly.
this royalty is killing me, And then I countered his offer. And then Barbara came in and was like, I'll take that offer. And I said, yes.
Wow.
So that's my partner. Yeah, that's my partner.
That's amazing. So fast forward, what's happening now?
Okay. So as I said before, the initial version of the toothbrush was electronic. So
Sure.
I went from electronic to sonic. So for those of your viewers and listeners that don't know the difference, I'll explain it. The difference is the amount of vibrations per minute. So an electronic toothbrush, the maximum amount of vibrations is 10,000 vibrations per minute.
Okay.
When you move into the sonic realm, the maximum is 50,000 per minute. So it's much more powerful. My toothbrush has 5 different speeds. It has 5 different levels of intensity. And I find that a lot more oral health conscious people, they like sonic toothbrushes. Even though a lot of people, when I first put it on the market, they thought Sonic was a brand.
Right.
But it's not. It's an actual type of toothbrush. Like Philips has a sonic version and electronic version. Big Mouth had an electronic version. Now they have a sonic version.
See,
Yeah.
I did not even know. I just learned something new from you.
Yeah. So that's it. But it's doing amazing. The toothbrush is doing amazing. We're now at Amazon. We are in over 100 dental practices. There's a lot of dental practices that actually sell the toothbrush. Dental practices get commissions for selling the toothbrush in their office. So what we do is we ship them a free toothbrush, let them try it out. For any dentists that are listening to your podcast, we send you the toothbrush for free.
I'll be the first one, and with this after this.
Absolutely, we'll send you a toothbrush for free to try. Give us feedback on it. Yep, and then you get commission for your sales. Like it's been doing really well. We also are about to launch in boutiques in Soho. So there are these tattoo and piercing places where they also do tooth jewelry. So I've been training them on how to place the tooth jewelry, right? And they add the toothbrush as part of their home care regimen.
Amazing.
Crazy, right? It's crazy. So no, it's been doing really well.
No, that's so awesome. So how much have these guys supported you in terms of networking, connections, getting the product out?
I think that
logistics.
No. I have meetings with them. I meet with them bi-weekly.
Okay.
Yeah, but the most of the meetings are about what I've been doing. Like she's not extremely hands-on. She chooses entrepreneurs that she believes in, so she doesn't have to walk them through things. And I think with the type of relationship that we have is that I'm in a position where I've learned a lot from her and I want to impress her. So being a partner with her makes me want to work even harder, if you can imagine.
That's such a great attribute because once you have that accountability automatically kicks in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about your dental practice,
Yeah.
your patients. What's going on that end? Like what are you doing to start getting into these disenfranchised, communities, and what are you doing to help them?
Yes. So what I find is, so I've had my practice in Brooklyn since 2008, like I said, and I have a wide variety of patients. Like, yes, I do. Like I told you, I do accept all insurances, but the unique thing about my orthodontic practice is that 50% of my patient population are adults. Like a lot of orthodontists see the majority of their practice like preteens and like teenage. I mean, I do have a lot. I have a lot of those too, but a lot of adults come to me because I make it affordable and I just have a ton of experience at this point. So I see a lot of adults. But when you come into my office, both offices, it's a very familial environment. Right now, my mom, when she retired, I grabbed her as quickly as I could. She's my office manager. My daughter is my treatment coordinator. So when you walk in the door, it's just a very familial environment. We always remember people's names. We actually talk to our patients. So for example, like I know a patient has like a prom or graduation coming up. We make a note in the chart so that when we see them the next time, hey, how was your graduation? Oh, hey, how was your birthday? I build my staff up to do that, to make it, just a little bit more comfortable because dentistry is not a comfortable place.
Nobody likes going to the dentist or the orthodontist, right? I mean,
right. So we try to make it good. We play all kinds of music when they come in. You can hear anything from country music to reggae when you walk in. Reggaeton. You can hear Spanish music. We cater to everybody. So the practice itself has been really successful. The Philadelphia practice was a little bit easier to open because Instagram and social media, they make it a lot easier for people to find you. So some of my followers that had already known about me from, having my practice in New York.
Correct.
Once I made the announcement that I was coming here, people started calling.
Look at you. I love it.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. I'm really, really blessed.
So tell me, what's your vision right now for your practice as well as, with your product?
Well, for me personally, I don't see myself opening up another practice where I'm going to be present.
Okay.
I can't be with so many places at one time.
Right.
And I know that when people see my practice and they see me, they want to see me. Like Correct. They don't want to be seen. Like they don't want to come to Aces Braces and see other dentists. Like they want to see me. So I don't see that for me. I think Philly is it for me in terms of opening up practices. Now, my daughter and mom, if they want to open up another office, okay, that's on them.
Okay.
But for me, no. In terms of Big Mouth, I would like to continue to have the product being sold in other dental offices. I don't think that retail is for me, and my partner agrees with that. I don't think it's a very specific type of toothbrush. It's an upscale toothbrush. It's a very, very, it's kind of posh. So it's going to be presented that way. It's being presented that way. So yeah, I don't think it's for retail, but I definitely love that the dentists have been reaching out and, basically saying that they want to sell the product in their office. I want to keep it as a dental. Being sold in dental offices. And then, of course, direct to consumer. We're still on Amazon. We have an Amazon store. Amazon is almost like a must for a product like mine because when you have platforms and you're selling through platforms like Shopify, just so that your listeners know, the shipping costs are very high for people outside of the U.S. So Amazon makes it a lot more cost effective for the owner of a brand to be able to sell in other countries.
Are they pretty hard to deal with, or are they like pretty okay?
Yes and no.
Right.
I think the bigger you get on Amazon, the more problems you encounter. But I think that I would say that every problem that we have had has worked itself out in a timely manner.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you are more like a boutique kind of.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's what you kind of like. Oh, that's great.
Very easy to find. Yes, I want to keep it that way.
Now, has Barbara ever told you to expand your dental practice?
No, she has not. She has not said that. Yeah, no, she's never said that.
Oh, okay.
But we don't really speak much about my dental practice. Once I expressed to her that I'd hired some more dentists, that was the only thing that she was kind of like she commented on, like that I hired people to help me,
Right.
probably so I could put more time into Big Mouth. but but yeah,
No, I
it's
love
going
it.
well.
I love it. Yeah, pretty much. I think we've covered quite a bit.
Yes, I think so too.
So, any last comments? Just one last question for you. What do you think about, like, for the audience with dental practices? How important is leadership and accountability
Good question. I think
from
in
your
terms of
perspective?
from my perspective, I feel as though leadership is extremely important. There really can only be one in a dental practice. That leader needs to delegate and respect the opinions and the input of their employees at all times. I take suggestions when we have our meetings. I always ask any suggestions on how we can make this better, and I'm very accepting of that.
Okay.
Accountability is huge as well. A team cannot function without people taking accountability for the good things they do and the bad things they do. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that's super, super, super important. I think that delegation is important. Everyone knowing their jobs very well is very important.
Sure.
Not allowing others to do other people's jobs is very important. Let everyone know what their tasks should be and be able to execute them very well.
Great. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I think,
Yes.
yeah, we've covered all. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. How can people find you?
So to find me directly, my Instagram is I am Dr. Bobby. My office Instagram is all things Dr. Bobby. I am Dr. Bobbylicious on TikTok.
Love it.
And the Big Mouth Toothbrush also has a page that's not curated by myself, but it's Big Mouth Toothbrush on Instagram. They can also purchase my toothbrush on Amazon. All you have to do is type in Big Mouth Toothbrush or Sonic or Best Sonic Toothbrush, anything like that, and it'll come up. And you can also purchase them on our website at bigmouthtoothbrush.com.
Bigmouthtoothbrush.com. Love
Yes.
it. Well, we're going to have the link below, so definitely. And I think this brings us to our conclusion. And I really appreciate your time and, for
Yes.
coming and your commitment to the community. I love it. So,
Thank you so much for having me.
no, absolutely. The pleasure's all mine. And yeah, with that being said, we're going to land our plane. This is going to be the end of our episode. So make sure everybody like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next pod.
Thank you so much.